Hello and welcome back to Paul's Engage channel. I managed to finally get the viaduct arches that I want for repairing the bridge. It's taken me a few days because I had to go online and buy the package from Scalesins. And I use Scalesins a lot in the past because they give me really good details and good buildings. I normally use them in O, but as soon as I've gone down to N, I've tried using them, and this I have used before because I've obviously built the bridge before. But now we've got the arches, and I've got the kit back. I shan't delete this one. I don't know where I've done this for. Anyway, you get two files. You get the instructions, and then you get the kit. Now obviously you can print this as many times as you need, and for the present moment I've printed it twice. So I'm going to use this to build the bridge arches that I need. I should be able to replace some, but I want to have some spare brick bits for buttresses. And as you can see, I have here the two kits, obviously the same. It's good to print them off at the same time because you're definitely going to get the same colourage from your printer for when you got a good cartridge. So this comes with 4 sheets, which is the arches, some approaches, then you've got the underside of the bridges, you've got the arch, the internal arch, some roadways. You can do a single or a double. I've decided I'm still going to do a double. And then you've got some of the fascia bits, building the brick walls, or the parapets, and coping stones even, and these need to be put on heavy card or print only light card, but these ones are heavy card, print only medium card, heavy card, and well, the print these you actually fold over the printed struts that you put on card. Now then, according to the instructions, they tell you what heavy card is and the light card. So if you have a look here, it actually says that well, it doesn't say here, but it does say that heavy card is 1mm, medium card is 200 GSM, and light card is 80 GSM. Well, trying to find the right card is a bit hard at the moment. It seems to be another shortage due to COVID and shipping problems. I've looked in some of the arts and craft shops and I've not found any, but I do have some cereal packets which are about 1mm. Well, actually these ones I think are 0.5mm, which can come as light card, I think, or medium card I mean. I've got some 200 GSM, and I think the best thing for the heavy card will be something like a back of a writing pad, which is normally about a millimetre thick. So I shall retrieve some of those. I've got a couple of the Amazon envelopes, which you take the front off, you've got the back, which is the right size. I don't really need a great deal of that. I've been to about 2 A4 sheets, so I shall find that out where I need it. Now then, apart from that, I've got knives, and I've got my rulers somewhere, What did I do with my ruler? Oh well. Here we have a selection of tools I normally use: scissors, a couple of rulers, and a couple of knives, and a stirry stick, which I use for glue, putting dabs of glue on where it's not possible to get the glue in if it's missed a part on the card. Then we got a set square to make sure that the building is true, or the bridges are true. And then obviously we've got a variety of paintbrushes, smaller ones for more detail, short, small joints that need painting. And then we also have some coloured pens, pencils, which I normally use for colouring the sides of the wood, the cardboard, prior to putting in the brick paper, or after I put the brick paper on, and they need to be toned up. Well, just like in the instructions they say under the arches, where sometimes brick paper doesn't go over. So I use these pastel pens from the art shop. I've had these quite a few years, and as you can see, a little goes a long way, and they don't take a lot. Sometimes it's good to use a felt pen. I find that they can be a bit messy and bleed onto the cardboard, and they cause even more problems. I've still got some bits from the original bridge. These are really not very good, but these can be utilised by putting some more paper over them, brick details. But these ones are quite good, they're not bad. They've been a bit discoloured, but then again they can be used to show ageing. And I do still need to get some varnish so as it covers them and stops them from any more damage. Some of them, are natural weathered, but obviously you get scenic bits that can come off. This can stay on there, but I think I'll start afresh with that and redo the weathering. So this card I'll use the shorter end, because not all the brickwork is the same length, and you can do it to show where there's been repairs done. The buttresses, these are going to need to be redone, some of these, because they are just too far gone. We can do that, and I've got the usual UHU glue, which is takes a little while, but it takes about 5 minutes. I've got some PVA glue, lots of PVA glue, and then various in snips, and obviously pen colours. There's a darker pen colour, which use different depending on where it needs to be coloured. I use either the blacker one or the lighter grey one. Also, if you use for mortar, it's quite good. Right, so we're ready to start, and I can get on and start preparing the prints and the walls. What I'll do is I'll stick the sheets to the card, and say I've got a few, but I shall come back and show you what I've done. Far too boring to show you what you need to do, so once I've done it, I'll show you the finished product. Hello, here we are again, and this is a day or so later. I had to let the cardboard and paper dry, weighed it down and left it to dry good. I normally use I did use Pritt Stick to glue these down. Find that's better than trying to use PVA, big wet PVA, because it takes too long and makes the paper too wet. So anyway, we've got the under arches and some of the ledge base layers on the heavy card ready to go. These are just the printed sheets that we're going to need later. There's a spare under fridge, and there is the buttresses or the arch fills. And these are the parapets and buttress covers, etc. Here you got the. I'll start this one. This one's the roadway, and this is the parapet walls and the approach parapet wall bases. And then we have the under arch inlays, which are going to need to curve, and then we put the brick paper on it. And here we have the arches. Here we go. And yeah, I've cut out one arch, and I've started to score this, and this takes a while. You've got to be very careful. Can't rush this. It's a very slow process, but it's good when it's finished. And there's the rest of the bits and pieces, buttress base sails and buttress approach. These are the approach sides. This is for under the arch to keep the curves from being getting too flexy, and it makes it a stiffer connection, a stiffer build. It works very well anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna carry on cutting these arches out, and as you can see, it is going to be a slow process. So I shall carry on and do this, and we'll come back to it when I finished it. I can't say we finished it because it's just me. Yeah, so carry on and do this, and I'll get back to you and show you what it looks like when we're finished. And here we are. Now this is just after I've finished cutting it out, I've tidied up the edges a bit. Needs to be just a little bit more tidy, and then I shall colour the side with the pencil, so that it hides the cardboard cutting. I shall do that, and then I shall show you again in a minute. But yeah, just basically all we need to do is to just go through and colour that down, make it less obvious, because obviously it's going to be a great transition from grey to the dark brown. It adds a little bit of a shade to it, as if it was in the shadow, but once you get the arch in there, the under arch, you won't notice the difference, and it helps to hide it, just like a thick mortar joint. So it just helps
blending the colours, and yeah, just do it a bit on the back, because obviously it is still going to be noticeable once you put the arch under. If you don't cover, but you can go over it again later and blend it in nice with pastels, or yeah, a bit of acrylic paint or whatever. I normally just use the pastels or Weber and powders, and that gives it a better coat, if you like, or tones down the joints, especially if you're putting glue on. Acrylic glue, PVA glue's not too bad because it dries quite clear. So does Yoo-Hoo, but Yoo-Hoo can get a bit messy if you're not careful, and it just takes a small dab of glue. That's why I use the little sticks like these, because you can be a bit more precise with applicating glue to the areas that you need it, rather than a great big glob of glue appearing. Right, I shall crack on and do the second part of the arch, and then I shall do the second pair of arches, and I've got to strengthen them with the back of the arches, and that also helps guide the under side of the arch later. But yeah, and we'll cut out these bits and pieces and prepare them, get them ready for gluing. It doesn't take long to put the parts together, but it does take a long time to cut them out, especially the arches, because you got to do them individually, and it does take a while. So far, managed to get it done. Not too bad. There is a bit of grey still showing in this arch, but on the whole it's okay. Try and smooth out these bits and take off the bobbly bits. Looks like someone's jumper, old jumper, but yeah, so if you smooth those down with a file, that should make it a lot easier and more presentable. And then I'll just go over with the crayon again, just to get the tone and grey off. Right, I shall come back to you in a while. It's going to take me probably about an hour to do this, and I'll show you what I managed to get it done. Thank you very much. See you later.